It would ruin all of our reputations. Not that they're great to begin with, but there's still a little sheen on that. We want to keep it. Glossy-ish. I am your host, as always, Chad Porto. This is week 3 of the Boys Review. 2 weeks back to back because we got the Zack Attack is back, Jack. He beat the bubonic plague. Huzzah!
I live still.
And I owe Marcus $20 for unrelated reasons. Joining me, as always, is the glorious one himself, Marcus Green. Marcus, how are you?
Good. Partially got beef with Russia just for the week.
Just for the week.
Get a pass.
And, of course, Zachary Tyler Pew Pew Duncan is with us as well. Zachary, welcome back. Plagueless as usual.
So good.
So good. Still wondering how you got it. I got some questions. I'm going with tainted corn dog personally. That's my bet.
I mean, it happens. It happens, man.
Or, and I'm going to throw this one out there, it's unlikely, but I may have tried to poison you. I don't know. Not saying that's the likeliest one. Wink. Wink. So we did 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, goddamn. We did 2 arcs of the boys. I forget the names of the arcs. One was like From the Heart, I think.
No, the first one was like the glorious 5-year plan, and then the second one was Good for the Soul.
Good for the Soul, yeah, that's right. So, the glorious 5-year plan was a 4-issue stretch from, I want to say, 10 to 13 or 11 to 14. I forget which one. But
I think it's, yeah.
What's that, Marcus?
Yeah, it's 11 to 14.
11 to 14, yeah. Okay, there it is. So I do have one question, but we'll get there at the end of this review. So basically the boys go to Russia. Calais. Their handler, the offensively named Monkey, he gets off to paraplegic women in wheelchairs. That's something I didn't need to know. Weird people. And apparently, Vought America's trying to throw a coup d'etat of Russia. But have no fear, everyone's favorite Russian love sausage is here. Would anyone like to explain to the audience why he is called Love Sausage?
No, thank you.
Marcus?
I'm good.
Fine. I am the leader of the ship, so I will go down with it. Because he got a 15-inch dong, people. To be fair, he does have the most accurate kryptonite in the history of superpower weaknesses. When he gets aroused, he cannot run straight.
It's very true.
And the only thing that can arouse him in his words, titties. Garth Ennis is a sociopath, I tell you what. We also got introduced to, what was her name? Little Vixen? Little Vicky?
Lil Nina.
Little Nina. Not even close. Little Nina's all about 3'10", 4 foot flat. And she enjoys extra large vibrating massagers. So much so, it'll be the death of her. Ha ha! Puns. Wordplay. Jokes. So, this is a pretty open and shut arc. We get a little bit of Vought's duplicity. Vought is essentially bankrolling a coup that will see about 150 soups overthrow the government under the guise of the return of communism. Love Sausage I think his real name is Voss, V-A-S, yes? Voss?
Yes.
Voss is very much a fan of the communists. He's all like, hey, I'm going to be here, going to be with the big commie representative right here. But then he discovers that his big commies are actually just tools, and it breaks his very, very soft, doughy heart. He's a good guy, this Voss. We got some cute little moments with Huey and Voss where Huey accidentally drinks what ends up being stripped down gasoline. Voss enjoys it, though. He enjoys the gasoline liquor. It makes him a happy boy.
Yes.
We got some choice language by Voss. He's apparently a fan of 1980s hip-hop. I'll just leave it at that. And we also discovered that the United States government is really just a big bunch of dickish cowards when it comes to dealing with the Seven and Vought America. Real simple story arc. Like I said, there wasn't a lot here that we didn't get. Although there was a very telling moment at the end of the episode. I think, episode. What the fuck am I on? At the end of the arc, we see a member of Vought America who's essentially the quote-unquote money guy in the Seven. He's the guy who's always watching the Seven. He's returning back to the States, and we see in the background the two towers. Now, I don't know if this was supposed to be kind of like an allusion to history, like a flashback of sorts, or if canonically we're not in 2001 September yet, although they do make reference to November of 01, so I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah.
Zach, Marcus, what did you guys catch with that? Did you think was that like a throwback moment, you think?
I don't know if it's so much a throwback moment or more of just like it's kind of weird to think, but maybe like an alternate timeline where that didn't actually happen. But if it didn't happen, then I don't know, like, because they mentioned the war in the Middle East around that time, so I don't know if it didn't happen. I don't know what's going on with that.
It could be a situation where timeline-wise, that moment hasn't happened yet, despite it being past 2001. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where like we could be talking about September 11, 2004, September 11, 2007 in this universe. Marcus, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, that's because the image itself is very, feels like it's very on the nose. But I'm kind of with you boys. Like, I didn't feel like that's what they were trying to do. It's just like the image is kind of invoking it that specifically, like Zach said, just the two towers, and then, it's like kind of get that vibe, but that I don't think that might necessarily have been the intention. Like you said, this could have been 2004. So, but it is a very thought-provoking last image for that book.
Now, in this book, or at least in this arc, I should say, we find out that there's a poisonous compound that can kill anyone unless you drink stripped-down turpentine. So Voss is he's a good mensch, good bloke. I do have one question about this arc that I will admit there was parts I was reading a bit through a little bit fast because I was trying to make up time. At the end, when Butcher rattles off all of the 150 deaths of the soups, how the fuck did he do that? He pushed the button and their heads all went kablooey.
All those 150 soups were like they had like some unstable form of the compound V.
Right. I picked up on that.
Yeah. So the question I have is where he got the detonator from.
Right.
But the whole point is, there's some Lil Nina was supposed to have the detonator, but Vought America gave her a bad one or some bullshit because they were gonna fuck her over.
Well, he stole it from her on the plane, which is when he put the bomb in the Massaging device.
I see. I didn't catch that.
My question is, how the fuck do you make a compound that's essentially just chemical explode with a detonator? Is it sound activated?
Well, they said it was something to do with like the brain, like it fucks with the brain chemistry, and there's some like frequency or some bullshit that sets it off.
Okay.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. But all right.
Garthina's really dove into the comic book dumb on that one.
It's funny because as much as I love the first movie, this reeked of Kingsman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this was literally how Kingsman ended. What was her name? Sophia Boutella?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like her. I like her quite a bit. That's a good film. The second one starts off strong. It just kills, why did we have to kill off fucking Merlin? Why did you need to make me cry while killing off Merlin?
Country roads.
You shut your whore mouth. Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. So I'm going to just be honest with you, gents. I am much more invested in the boys when we get Starlight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Boobs. There it is. I genuinely find the romance between Starlight and Huey to be the best part of the series. Jokes aside.
Yes.
There's a cynicism that exists in this collective universe, and Starlight seems to be the only one who is actively fighting against it. She's looking for sincerity, she's looking for honesty, and she's looking for kindness. If that's all that a woman is looking for, I can give you two of them.
Be sure on it.
I'm honest and kind. I can't promise sincerity. I'm too much of a slap ass. But there's a wholesomeness about her that's being corrupted, but she's actively fighting against it. And her entire arc with Huey in what was it, Zach? Piece of the Soul?
Good for the soul.
Good for the soul. Chicken noodle soup. Good for the soul. And what's even fascinating about the first arc, not the first arc, but second arc we read, was it introduces, I shouldn't say introduces, it opens up with her in a, I would imagine a Catholic church. I've been in many, so
That's
I know.
what it looked like.
I've been in many, so I think I know what they look like. It looked like a mosque. Fun fact, my father actually helped build a mosque.
Really?
Yes, and I got to, because I was at his place on the weekends as a kid. I was actually in the basement while he was working on it. And fun fact, I read 3 Goosebumps in the basement of a mosque while it was being constructed. Yeah. Only one I remember is Beast from the East, because I was like, Bam Bam Bigelow, cool. Oh, wait, God damn it. Then my dad threw a hammer at me. He's like, don't say God damn it. My father's a complicated individual. But she's in the church, and she's basically doing the scene from West Wing, where Martin Sheen's yelling at God in Latin. Which, by the by, if you're ever going to yell at God in a church, you do it in Latin or you don't do it at all.
Fair.
And then you scream out, Sic vis faca parabellum. Then you just walk off to the Punisher theme. Goddamn. So she's basically lamenting her choices, and she's begging God to show that he exists, although she has a concern that if he did prove that he was there, that he was letting these things happen out of just a lack of caring, essentially. So she doesn't know which one hurts her the worst, that he A, doesn't care, or B, doesn't exist. And that, not exactly the most original of ideas to put in a book about religion. I've seen and heard that play out a lot of times. Fuck, I saw that in an episode of the X-Men, goddammit. Anyone know what episode I'm talking about? Zach, you know the episode? Marcus, you know the episode of the X-Men?
I don't, but I feel like it was Wolverine.
Yes.
I vaguely remember this.
Marcus, you want to take a stab on this one?
Completely lost.
So, I want to say it was in season 3. Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, and I think Jubilee go to the Swiss Alps. Because when you have a private jet, you can
break a sweat against Apocalypse or Magneto. What gets him? A pine tree.
He can literally have his metal exoskeleton ripped from his bones, and he can heal from it. But damn those skis! Damn those skis! He wakes up in a monastery. Rogue, I think, rolled her ankle. Gambit's just pissy because he's Gambit, and Jubilee's are like, woohoo, I get to be involved. And they find out that one of the members of the monastery is actually Nightcrawler. So, of course, everyone freaks out. Wait, we're mutants. We know you're a mutant. What's up? And basically, one of the parishioners, is that the right term? I think so. One of the monks of the monastery and Wolverine have a conversation about deities, God, and religion. Basically, one of the dudes freaks out and tries to kill his brother, Nightcrawler, because he's like, you're a demon. And Nightcrawler's like, I'm not a demon. I just can teleport, and I got this cool tail, and I go and walk through a death realm every time I smoke out, if you will. It's fucked up. I see some shit, and I don't sleep well. But I can teleport, so that's pretty cool. And so the guy ends up burning down the monastery, trying to kill Nightcrawler, and he realizes that he done fucked up. But Nightcrawler forgives him because he's a man of the cloth. And watching Nightcrawler forgive someone who tried to kill him inspired Logan to get in touch with his religion again. Literally happened in a Saturday morning cartoon, folks. Can't even make this shit.
Yes, I vaguely remember like the final scene of Wolverine like saying like a passage from the Bible.
Yeah, he's reading the Bible in the church. And I think it was Jubilee, but it may have been Rogue, peeks in looking for him and sees him and gives him his piece as she walks back to the group. I want to say it was Jubilee. So
that would make the most sense.
Yes, because Jubilee and Wolvie were very close. So we already saw that once before this issue even came out, because this came out in 2007. That comic came out, that episode. There we go. I know words and the things they mean. The episode came out in like 94, 95, so this is 12 years prior. So Garth Ennis isn't exactly the most topical person to tackle religion, and nor did he do it in a way that was wholly unique. I did enjoy it for the character, though, because it did set up the rest of the arc with her kind of being all like, I'm so sad. I don't know why she sounds like Mario, or at least a racist caricature of Mario, but there you go. Kablammy. In the next episode, God damn it, in the next issue, there we go. Basically, Huey and Starlight run into each other. They start hanging out. She gets wicked drunk, and Huey sends her home saying, I'm not an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I'm not an asshole. And then Huey's in bed at night, wishing he had fucked her and going, I'm an asshole. Huey, you are a mensch. Good job. Because that's every man right there. She's, Starlight's, she's got her issues. She's kind of upset with how things are going in the 7. So, she's looking for a little steam, and she finally had her first drink, and she never drank before, and she got sloshed off like 2 or 3 drinks. It's quite cute. Part of her charm. Oh, but what things will happen in the next 2 issues? I'm going to be honest here, gentlemen. I thought the last few issues, like the Roman orgy in the 2nd issue, where or was that the 4th issue, where they're just fucking all, and all the hookers got to take compound V just to keep up with the heroes. I thought that was pretty rough. Thought seeing that dude's dangle sticking through his tights, I thought that was pretty rough. I was not expecting Crimson Mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just go, huh. So Huey brings Starlight back to his apartment, introduces him to his new hamster, Jamie, and proceeds to... What's that song? Shorty wanna go, lick you like a lollipop? That's essentially what Huey did. Of course, Butcher and Mother's Milk show up, looking for Huey to take him, to work, essentially. Butcher goes to the door, tells him, after seeing Huey, we got a cab, take all the time you need. And Huey looks in the mirror and realizes that when he went down on his paramour, she was receiving a visit from her aunt, Aunt Flo. She was in town and no one seemed to realize. And it made for actually like a really kind of comical moment, but also like, how did you not notice the difference? I don't know. This comic's real fucked up. This comic's got some fucking issues, man. I tell you goddamn what. But it gets worse. So throughout the arc, Huey is spying on the teenage kicks or whatever the fuck they're called. And they keep hearing weird things. And in my head it's I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be.
Jack Bandit?
Yeah, right. Huey eventually figures out what that sound is, and it was the kid he ended up ripping in two. He's still alive somehow. And I don't know how, and it's freaking me the fuck out.
So apparently the compound V allows like you to like reanimate the body. The brain's still fucking dead. Cause what brain without oxygen that long, it ain't gonna do so good. But the body's still there.
The body is willing. The head is unable.
Correct.
So the guy shows up, breaks into Huey's apartment, tries to get the hamster back. Huey ends up killing him again.
Yeah.
God damn it, Huey. And then Huey goes to work and asks Butcher, hey, you know that show CSI? If I didn't want to be caught by them, how would I get rid of a body? And you hear me, my friends, if either of you two mother truckers walk up to me going, how do I make sure I don't get busted like in Law and Order? I'm going to just go, get out. I ain't in for a penny. I ain't in for a pound. You on your own on that one. Because if you come to me, whoo, you're already in worse shape than I thought. So eventually, Butcher tells him, get a giant oil drum of gasoline, petrol. Throw the body in there and set it on fire. So Huey does, and Butcher's like, ha ha ha, you actually did it. You needed my help. And Butcher's like, you got to get past it, whatever, it's not your fault, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, so who's the chick you're fucking? Because Butcher really only cares about one thing. Who you fucking? Wild-ass 2 arcs. Marcus, start with you. Thoughts on both arcs? Anything that resonated? And do you still feel like the comic is delivering like you did, when we first started reading it?
Yeah, it is. I just it's definitely making me appreciate the level of groundedness that the show has, even with it's funny when people, I'm just gonna have a different reaction now when people call the show edgy.
More like Christian Cage.
Exactly. I had a lot of creative deaths in Moscow, to say the least. Somebody's face was like the face of
pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Still not as bad as pineapple on pizza. I'm just throwing that one out there.
And you had the vibrator situation, the dick stuff, and then in this, the fact that this dude's returned from the dead in his dude's apartment, they're talking, no pants. He turns around, he becomes his piss holder.
God, that did happen.
It did.
Stop pissing, you bastard! Like, yeah, okay, that's
And then he knocked the bucket over.
yeah, and coming to the door with ketchup on his face, a wink, wink. Yeah, I think the most intriguing thing to follow in terms of a grounded sense has been, like you said, Starlight. And just her back and forth between basically all the things that I guess that constituted her, or was the constitutions of a character were crumbling. Obviously, it's what she believed in heroes, how stuff in the world works, and the foundation of that obviously was her religion. And she was like, "You don't even exist, because if you did, I wouldn't have had to do a blow bang, right? You would have pulled me out of that." So, yeah. So, decent stuff. Oh, also, again, thumbs up for the continuity of the hate fucking between Butcher and old girl.
Yeah, they don't like each other. But then he's like, remember the night we met and you were doing that shady bullshit? Yeah, watch yourself. Thackeray Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Question to you. We didn't get you last week. So thoughts on the last 4 arcs?
Well, yeah, I was really only here for the first arc, which was the first 2 issues, and nothing really happened all that much.
Boy, did that change quickly.
So, yeah, it didn't take long. The second arc was, I think, was the Teenage Kicks, where
Yes.
Huey punched a hole into Blarney Cock.
Yep.
Which, I mean, your name's Blarney Cock. How much good publicity are you gonna get? Let's just be real here.
Blarney Cock.
Changing
the name of the show. ComicCorp.
And then the next arc was Tech Knight and Swing Winger, which were very, very clear spoofs on Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and all that stuff.
Yep.
Which was also quite interesting. Because it was really the only time it was like, these guys aren't supers, but they hang around with supers, so they're probably just as bad, kind of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Though Tech Knight wasn't all that bad at all, honestly. He's just started just uncontrollably fucking things. So,
I believe he had a tumor pressed against his forehead.
Yes, he did. So it wasn't really his fault.
His medulla oblongata. Or
also,
he was mad and humping things because he had all them teeth and no toothbrush. One or the other.
What or the other. Also, did anyone else notice that Swing Winger's hair was black and then it was blonde?
I did. I don't know why.
Maybe Garth Ennis was like, maybe we're a little too on the nose. But I call bullshit on that. So I don't know.
So, Marcus, we talked about it last week, and I mentioned that I didn't know what the hell happened to Tech Knight at the end of the comic. Well, I went back and reread, and there's a little panel when he's saving the wife and child, and then he looks up and sees the city being destroyed. There is a wheelbarrow falling on top of him as he's pushing the mother and daughter out of the way. So that's what kills him, is that specific falling wheelbarrow, and what we see is his subconscious sending him off the only way he cares about. Humping an ass.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Wow. I reread Butcher's wheelbarrow line like a couple times. I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
It's so hard
like
to see because
they follow his slang, but I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's so hard to see because it's like it's not hard to see. Like once you start looking for it, you'll see it. But it's like a purplish bluish wheelbarrow, and it's like almost dead set against the backdrop of the sky, so it doesn't pull your eyesight. But yeah, if you go back and reread the panel where he's like, he's like, I used to be Tech Knight, and then like the next panel he's like, oh no, and he dives and tries to help the couple, not the couple, the parent and child. You'll see the little wheelbarrow coming off the skyscraper, and that's what kills him. And then he hallucinates the rest as he's dying. So it's really fucked up.
It is really fucked up.
Oh, goddamn. So yeah, so far this has been The Boys.
So far, this has been The Boys. I will agree that the Huey Starlight thing I feel like is the best part, because those are the only two characters that are really like they actually are trying to do good here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that actually like have some sort of moral compass to them. Everyone else is just a bunch of murdering fucking assholes.
Well, I would argue that Frenchie is probably the best of the rest, past, Huey.
Probably.
Because Frenchie has no problem killing. And he has no problem sniffing out trails, apparently. But
yes.
He deliberately went out of his way to find the woman so he could keep her from killing someone just to satisfy her bloodlust. And he's just said to her, like, listen, you can still catch up to him. You can still kill him. The only thing it's going to cost you is a piece of your soul. Or, just throwing this one out here, you can have non-processed British chocolate. And then she reaches and takes the chocolate. And then you see her face and she's smiling. I'm just like, holy shit. Oh, that's adorable. Mostly because I've been on a...
That is true.
Yes, mostly because I've been on a Baby Metal kick recently, and they have a song, Chocolate. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah! She's a Baby Metal fan, 5 years before they existed. So we got another 2 arcs. We'll do that in a week, 2 weeks, because Zach refuses to work consistently.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, Marcus says that jokingly, but no, that's why Marcus is here, so we can have a show.
That is 100% accurate.
We didn't used to do the show every week because Zach's a lazy bum. I like to imagine Zach's are Bernie, and me and Marcus are like just parading Zach around on the beach, weekend at Zach's. How'd he die? Plague. Although, I could imagine Zach getting laid more often as a dead man than he did as a live man. The 80s were weird. They literally showed necrophilia. Often.
Oh, I just thought about that. If they would have put the thing in the comic that they did in the show, that when she got excited, she glowed, he would have ducked that problem.
I need to rewatch that scene. For science reasons! I was actually thinking about that. I do need to rewatch the show, though. Because I do feel like the show nails a lot of the characters a little bit better. Like, it really does put a little bit more focus on, like, a character like Mother's Milk. In the comic, he's kind of just been kind of prescribed to be, Butcher's best friend. And that's kind of all we've really gotten from him so far. We got a lot of dialogue boxes, and we know who he is in the context of the group, but who is he outside of it? And I don't think we've really gotten a good handle on that yet.
Right. We got like a short thing, like he went to go see his mom, but we never actually saw what that was about.
And he went to the basement, and I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that whatever's going on with him, and I have a feeling it's fucked up.
I mean, are we thinking like a Norman Bates kind of thing, or even worse?
I'm going to go even worse. Like,
just because it's Garth Ennis?
Yes. Like, you got to remember, in Preacher, he had the meatpacking leader of the meatpacking plant literally fuck a meat woman. Literally. Gardenas is fucked in the head, my friends. He has no filter. But in the show, Mother's Milk is while not super dove into, we know that he's a father. He's kind of on the outs with his old lady, but kind of not. You know, he's working his way back. He's working with the youth of America to try to make sure that they end up on the right path and don't end up like Butcher. Because let's be honest, you don't want to end up like Billy Butcher. We know that he's not exactly on the best of terms with Billy Butcher when the show kicks off, because when Billy shows up, his exact words are, fuck no. Those are words I can live by. In fact, every time I call Marcus, literally what he says to me, fuck no. So, and we also get a little bit more with the woman, at least, we do find out more about the woman in the comic, but in the show, we find a little bit more in detail. The only person that I think is given a little bit more show time so far has been Huey. I think there's been a lot more explored with Huey at the moment than in the show. But the show is done really well with utilizing it and showcasing all of these different talents. So and all these characters. I mean, I got that wrestling brain on still. So I think the show is like really, really, really streamlined, and I think they're hitting all the right points that they need to hit. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And honest to God, I'm super fucking excited for The Boys Season 2 in a way that I haven't been in really any other shows for a long time. Like, not since Arrow Season 3, which, wow, that turned out. Like that's as excited as I've been until Boys Season 2. Like, I'm genuinely vibrating here waiting for it to happen.
That's how you blow up, Chad.
I know. Maitland Ward is on this episode of Home Improvement. Rachel from Boy Meets World. There's Zach.
Okay.
And the reason why Marcus is saying uh-oh is because Marcus knows that Maitland Ward is now a porn star. And Marcus only knows that for scientific reasons. Specifically scientific reasons. Get your mind out of the gutters. So now that every time I see her, I'm just like, I've seen you naked. I mean, I haven't seen her naked. I'm not some perv. I think she was on an episode of Girl Meets World like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure if she was doing like her softcore Instagram, Twitter stuff when she was on Girl Meets World. So I don't know how Disney let that happen. Fucking world we live in, man. It is all kinds of fuck-a-diddle-do. Speaking of fuck-a-diddle-do, Zachary, would you like to talk about Batman?
He's very red.
He's very red. He's so red you can't really even tell. Do 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 do. Oh, was he hanging out with Huey and Starlight? It took everyone a half a second to get the joke, but it got there.
I was planning on having a burger. It's going to be missing ketchup because of that.
Are you going to have it medium rare? Make sure it's pink inside? Mark is like, make it charcoal briskets.
Very black. Call it the We Coming For You burger.
Marcus, I swear to God, if you and I ever get a burger together, you need to say how you want your burger just like this. I'd like my burger blacker than me, please. If you don't do it, I'm going to be super fucking disappointed that you didn't take that joke opportunity. Oh, goddamn. This is why we're friends. So we got this really intimate look at Batman. He's hanging out in red lights. Can't really see much of the specifics, but you could tell that he's a caped superhero of sorts. And all I heard in my head when I saw this was, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see. I don't know why he's a fan of the 80s, but he is.
Yeah, why not?
We also got to look at the bat symbol, which is more of a Nightwing symbol, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's it's sleek. It's simplified. I'm not mad with it.
My only real kind of complaint, it's not really a complaint either. I'm kind of over being that kind of a fanboy. Matt Ryan, Steve Ryan, Matt Reeves. Wasn't he the clown? Doink. My only kind of point of contention is Matt Reeves kind of pitched this whole thing as a very toned down, stripped down, authentic mystery for Batman. Like really more than we've ever seen in TV and comic and movies before. I'll get it right eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, and I'm fine with that. Like I'm very much the person like I'm no longer the Jason Momoa is not blonde with short hair. I'm not him anymore. He's gone. Now I want more Jason Momoa. My man. He throws axes for fun. That should be every superhero. Yes, more Momoa. But my question is that still the idea? Because it seems more like not Nolan-esque, but it seems kind of more techie. And I don't necessarily want a techie Batman.
It kind of had the like a vibe from like the Arkham City games.
Yes. I could see this being like
it wasn't like one solid thing. It had a bunch of plates and stuff.
Yes. I could see this being a very Azrael-esque looking Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if that's and again, like I'm not sitting here going, I'm not going to see it. I'm just sitting here saying if I was designing it, I'm not sure I would have gone that route. But generally speaking, I like the look of it. I like the vibe of it. You know, this whole use of colors isn't really something that we see a lot of. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. Zach, we'll get to you because you are the Batman buff. But Marcus, what did you think when you saw this Batman?
Well, at first I was like, oh, look at Bullseye and Daredevil's outfit again.
Fair.
But great chin, Pattinson. Good chin. But yeah, I mean, I thought it looked cool. I think my favorite thing about it is the music. The symbol looked cool. I saw somebody tweet that it looks like the pieces of the symbol are like pieces of a gun, which may or may not be the gun that killed his parents. Which is a cool idea. I don't know if that's the exact concept, but it was different. I think what we're getting with Reeves is a Batman in his early start, maybe 2 years in. So I think you kind of saw that with some of the stitching around the mask a little bit. I also saw a version of it without the red, so it helped, obviously. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought this was a cool little thing for me with Batman and even Superman. As much as I like Cavill, I think, you know, with DC successfully building other pieces around, we know we got to take care of the two big pieces of business. So for me right now, we just got to get these two things up and going and kind of out of the way. But it does look cool. So that's kind of what my thoughts are with it.
Fair enough. Marcus, I don't even think you need to go with the Bullseye and Daredevil. It just kind of looks like Daredevil. What was the name of the guy who played Daredevil? I could have sworn it was Reeves.
You have no idea how hard it was for me not to say Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, was it Batfleck? Let's see.
Charlie Cox, that's his name.
Oh, the guy that played Daredevil. I thought you
Yes.
said Bullseye. Oh, yeah, Charlie Cox.
The Coxinator. So, Thackeray, to say you're a Batman fan would be gross overselling? Or gross under...
I'm insulted that you would say that to me.
Yes.
Batman fan. Jeez.
Saying you're a Batman fanatic would be a underrepresentation, I would argue.
Mm-hmm.
I believe your first child's name is already going to be Batman Bruce Duncan. Wayne.
Yes, correct.
Wayne Bruce Bat Duncan.
Gonna type the Wade at the end of Duncan.
And behind both of y'all already have cool names for y'all kids. We got Chad's cool name. What, last week? Was it Sunday?
Oh yeah, what the fuck was I gonna call my kid? This is gonna piss me off now because I had such a cool name.
Go back and listen to the recording because neither one of us wrote it down apparently.
It was something really fucking tight. God damn it! I'm so mad at myself. It may have been Tuesday's show. By the by, we recorded 2 shows last night. Neither are up on the website yet. Sorry. What do you want from me? So, Zach, you're the Batman aficionado.
Mm-hmm.
I will literally say this, and I will literally mean this. I do not think there has not been an incarnation of the Bat that you have not seen at least twice.
I think that's fair.
Batman 66? Well, before the 66 serial. Because I don't think you saw any of the 40s.
I've not seen like the 40s serials.
Yes.
I've not seen those.
So since 66 Batman and on,
yes.
you have seen all, been all, enjoyed all.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly.
Even
what was that? All-Star Batman, voiced by Diedrich Bader. Kind of in the vein of Batman 66, came out like 10 years ago.
Oh, Batman Brave and the Bold?
There it is.
Yeah. Yep. I have seen some of that.
Solid stuff there, folks. Seeing what we've seen. Thoughts?
First, I'm curious as to why this is a camera test when it like the red isn't the problem so much as it's just so damn dark. It's like, how can you see anything? Well, to be fair,
the red's the problem because the red negates most of the light.
That's true.
You take the red away and you'll be able to see because that's how light works.
Yes, you can actually see what it looks like, which is, I feel like, the point of a camera test. But I like, I like the silhouette. My only thing is, like, I feel like Robert Pattinson might not be big enough, really. Like, to me, he has more of a Nightwing kind of a build to him.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think the suit looks good. I think I kind of wish we had gotten, like, the camera had moved up more so I can see, what the ear situation is. Because I look at that shit. But I think it looks good. I hope that they stick with the idea of it being more of a mystery instead of, like, I mean, you can even have it be a super villain, but we've yet to really see in any of the movies, like, Batman doing any actual, like, detective work.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always his thing. He debuted in Detective Comics. That was always his shtick. League needs someone to figure something out they call Batman. So I hope they stick with that, because I would really like to see that, even if it does end up being the Riddler or the Penguin or the Joker or whoever the fuck ever.
Well, they announced that it's going to be the Penguin, and I think I'm getting this right. Didn't they announce it was going to be what's his name? Guy who played Bullseye in the movie.
Colin Farrell?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So further down in this article, we have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, and Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Speaking of Bullseye.
What about Zoe Kravitz? Hi.
Zoe.
Paul Dano is playing the Riddler. John Turturro is playing Carmine Falcone. Peter Sarsgaard is playing Gil Golson, Gotham's DA. Jamie Lawson is playing Bella Real. Bella Real. That's what the tilde means. Mayoral candidate in Gotham. Andy Serkis. Wait. What the flying fuck? Andy Serkis is playing
Okay,
Alfred
hold
Pennyworth.
the fuck on.
You guys didn't know that?
No.
Why?
This was announced in November.
Yeah.
Why?
They couldn't find a place for Caesar to really fit in the narrative, so he lamented and went with Pennyworth.
So we get the Jack Gorilla. Because let's be honest, y'all saw how jacked he was in Black Panther. Andy Serkis is no longer Schmeagol, y'all.
No.
He's
not.
Samwise Gamgee with muscles.
Yeah, he's right up there with G.Y.M. Gordon.
Gymnasium Gordon. So I completely forgot which dude was playing Gordon. I thought it was the dad from Fan Four Stick, and I was like, I don't know. That dude's kind of like, I don't know. But then I realized it's the guy from Westworld. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I don't want anything to do with anyone from Fan Four Stick ever again.
Does it help without the color?
The video you sent. I wouldn't say it helps, but it's there. So I appreciate that. It still looks pretty cool regardless. Like these are both great shots. The problem is with the red hue, all you can do is tone it down. You can't actually replace it because what's lacking is the lights. Because the red, I don't know if it's a bulb or if it's like a cover that they put over the light. That's sucking the light and giving it this matted look. So taking away the red does kind of help a little bit, but what you would need to do is just shoot it over again without the red. But Batman in sunlight, what?
Yeah, that don't look right either.
So okay, Paul Dano is he's been around. He was in Little Miss Sunshine. He was in a bunch of those goofy ass teen movies. I think he was in Girl Next Door.
Swiss Army Man.
Was he now?
Yes, he was the main character alongside Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe has gotten so goddamn high.
Uh-huh.
He was in Fast Food Nation. It doesn't say he was in Girl Next Door. Someone else must have been in Girl Next Door. But, I was like, oh, he's like a young guy, I guess. He's 35. I don't know when that happened. This cat still looks 22.
He does.
Like, Jesus Christ, we're going to be calling him Babyface Dano. Oh, wait, he looks super old with glasses. Never mind. Still has a babyface, though. All right, so any final thoughts on Batman? Or shall we say the true version of Batfleck?
Hilarious. You fellas know as a longtime DC fan, it's nice to see stuff in production.
Yes.
That's true. That's very true.
But as a DC fan, we know that just because it's in production doesn't mean we're anywhere close. Because they literally had camera tests for Nick Cage as Superman.
Ow, my head.
So I'm still not buying this. Not yet. But maybe. If it actually... Old saying, until it's in theaters, I don't believe it's happening. Too much can still go wrong. Gentlemen, anything else pique your interest this week that you want to comment on?
Nope.
Rusev is still having an ongoing conversation with the WWE getting out of his deal.
I just enjoy his paramour's Instagram.
Sorry, that's Lashley's paramour. Who's Rusev dating these days? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Well, ain't Mandy Rose, but she's booked tomorrow night.
Is she? Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I was like, what the hell's going on Sunday?
Yeah. A boy Otis got him a date on V-Day.
Good job, Otis. Good job. All right. So, with that being said, let's wrap this show up. RealNerdCorp.com. RealNerdCorp.com. We're on Twitter at NERDCORP. We're on Instagram at RealNerdCorp. Once we get the podcasts up, which both of them are going up right after the show is over, so you can check there and look it up. RealNerdCorp.podbean.com. And if you download it to your mobile device, you can search. It's Real Nerd Corp on the Podbean app with your mobile device. We're also on YouTube.com/ComicCorp and Twitch.tv/ComicCorp. Technically, the YouTube URL is not the URL yet. Just Google or YouTube search the Comic and Game Core title, and we'll be there. Marcus can be found on Twitter at ParadoxKid, ParadoxKid.
That's me.
You can also find him on his other podcast, The True Penny Show, at True Penny Show on Twitter, TruePennyShow. You can find Thackeray over here on DeviantArt and Instagram at the same handle at Radiance2020, RADIANCE 2020. A new comic should be coming eventually for our furry friends. We got to introduce El Arietto. The cowboy clotheslining 10-gallon hat with cowboy boots. That's all he is. Zach, he's going to be fun to write. I'm just letting you know. And you can find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. Be sure to check us out at Real Nerd Corp once again, RealNerdCorp.com to keep up with all good things Nerdcorp. And with all that being said, we'll be back tomorrow night right here on Twitch.tv/ComicCorp for Season 3 of Chuck Review. Chuck versus the podcast. Me and Swisher. It's going to be a thing. So tune in for that. 9, maybe 10-ish. I don't know. Just tune in. So with all that being said, we're done. Marcus, take us home.
Good night, meat.